What's going on, world? It's me, Andre Cat, now here from West Palm Beach, Florida. So, I got some really good news for you guys, and I got a way for you guys to make some really good money by leveraging my copy service. All right. So, most of you guys already know that I allow people to copy my trades, right, automatically to their account. So, what I want to do now is I want to help you guys not only make money copying my trades, but I also want to help you guys make money by referring other people that want to copy my trades automatically to their account as well. So this is what I'm going to do. For only $100, I'm going to allow you guys to copy my trades. If you haven't already started copying my trades yet, I'm going to allow you guys to copy my trades for only $100, right? One-time fee, right? And not only that, anybody that you refer that wants to copy my trades automatically to their account, I'm going to allow you to make $100. So it's a win-win for all. It's a win-win situation for all of us, right? You make money copying my trades, and you make money by referring people to my service. All right. So that's what I wanted to put out real quick before I give you guys some value, because I'm going to give you guys a lot of value. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I mark up my charts, how I trade, and stuff like that. But guys, I'm only doing this for a limited time only, so take advantage. If you're watching this video, take advantage. All right. Again, let me recap. For only $100, I'm going to allow you to copy my trades automatically to your account. That means every time I place a trade on my account, those same trades will be copied over to your account, right? And everybody that you refer to me, right, that wants to also copy my trades, I'm going to allow you to make $100. So that means the person that you refer to me, you're going to make $100. All right? So that's a win-win situation for all of us, okay? So let's go ahead. I want to show you guys. This is the main reason why I wanted to make this video is I just want to show you guys a little strategy that I'm doing when it comes to trading, and you can do it as well on your account. But like I said, if you don't want to be looking at the charts, you don't want to be trading all day, you don't want to be looking at the charts, or you don't want to trade, or you don't know how to trade, like I said, take advantage of my service when it comes to copying my trades. That means every time I place a trade on my account, those same trades will be copied over to your account automatically, hands free. And everybody that you refer to me, you're gonna also make additional $100 on top of that, on top of the money that you're making by copying my trades. Okay. All right. So here's a strategy that you can do. Here's a strategy that you could do on futures when it comes to futures. And there's prop firms, futures prop firms out there like Apex, Top Step. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there, but the one that I recommend is Top Step. Okay, all right. Top Step is reliable. They're legit, and they pay out. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys exactly how I like to trade. Okay, I'll show you this little strategy. So let's get into it. All right. So usually when I trade, right, I like to look at the higher time frame. Like I start from the weekly to see what type of trend we're in. And then on the daily, what I do on the daily is I mark up my previous highs and lows, previous weekly highs and lows. Okay, go ahead and do this real quick. So what I would do is I will mark my previous week high and low. Okay, so this was Friday. So Friday was the high. All right, so Friday was the previous weekly high. Okay, I'm showing you guys exactly how I trade. I'm showing you guys exactly how I trade, guys. So pay attention, take notes. If you have to, rewatch this video, okay? And then I already have templates for it. So that's the weekly high. Usually my weekly high is like this little orange color, like orange zone, okay? So that's the high, okay? Now I'm looking for the low. So this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. So Monday was the low. Okay, so what I would do is I will mark this as the low. I usually draw the zone from the wick to the body, but this is a big zone. So what I would want to do is I will probably go down to the 4-hour to see if I can make this zone a little bit shorter. Okay, because it was too big there. But yeah, go back to the daily. So now I have my previous weekly high and low. All right, these are my previous weekly high and low zones here. Okay, and then what I usually do is I go down to the 1-hour. All right, I go down to the 1-hour. Okay, and I mark my previous U.S. session highs and lows. All right, so how do I know? How do I know what session I'm in? How do I know if I'm in the New York, the London, or the Asian session. Well, I got these candles color coded. All right. These red candle means that I'm in the U.S. session. The yellow candle means that we're in the Asian session, and the green candle means that we're in the London session. The best time to trade equities, indices, US 30, Nas 100, whatever, is US session. All right, that's the best time to trade these instruments. Okay, so right now, last week, previous high and low. All right, previous US session high and low was here, in this right here. So we'll go ahead and get my zone. This is the high right here, the previous US session high. All right, so I draw my zone from the wick to the body. That's how I draw my zones. Okay. And then sometime, majority of the time, these zones are the order blocks or supply and demand, whatever you want to call it, act as supply and demand. Okay, so let me draw this a little bit out there, and then usually I have this color red. All right, the zone color red, and then I have templates for it. Yeah, New York session high. So that's my New York session high. All right. Now I want to look for my U.S. session low. So obviously the low, the last red candle, right? The low is here. So I'm going to draw my zone from here to the wick to the body. Right? That's my U.S. session low. All right. This is exactly what I do every single week. All right. Every single well, when it comes to drawing my previous weekly high and low, I only draw that like on Sundays, or either Saturday or Sunday, and then I draw my every single day U.S. session. I draw my previous U.S. session high and low for each new day. All right. So there we go. So I got my previous U.S. session high and low zones here. All right. So now let's go to the part where we actually trade. All right. So once price reaches these zones, all right, I break it down to the 5-minute. I like to trade on the 5-minute chart. All right. And this is a scalping strategy. When it comes to trading futures, when it comes to futures prop firms, you can't be holding trades for a very, very long time. So they want you to be in and out. They want you to be actually scalping, basically, because every single day the markets close at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you want to make sure that you're out of your trades by 4 p.m. I would say by 4 p.m. But the market closes at around like 5, and then open back up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right. So let's get into the strategy here. Okay. And you might see, these things on the chart that says BOS, stuff like that. You don't really need that, but if you're interested in this indicator that I'm using here, then just reach out to me. Let me know in the comment section. Hey, Andre, I'm interested in the indicator that you're using, and I'll send you a link to that so you can get access to that. But this is the indicator is very, very helpful, but you don't really need it. Okay. All right. So now I'm looking for trades. So when the market opens, right, I'm looking for trades. Okay, so as you can see on the 5-minute, this is the 8 a.m. and my U.S. session starts at 8 a.m. That's what I prefer U.S. session when it comes to starting the U.S. session. I usually like it to start at 8 a.m. Okay, so 8 a.m. Here's the first candle of the U.S. session. So what I like to do is I look for what type of trend we're in on the 5-minute, what type of market structure we're seeing on the 5-minute. Okay, so in this case, in London session, well, actually, when we're on the 5-minute, like the candles like to change, like the 8 a.m. like to be in the green. So really, on the 5-minute chart, the green is in the U.S. session. So as we can see here, this is 8:30. Now this long ass candle right here is news. All right. I don't recommend trading during news. I would recommend trading after the news happen. Okay, you don't want to trade during the news because it can be very volatile. All right, so there was the 8:30 candle. This was news right here. Okay, so as we can see before, structure was creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? break a structure, created a higher high, right? But when that news came out, price came and closed below here, creating a lower low. All right, this is a lower low here, lower high, lower low, right? And now price came back up and created a higher high, broke a structure here. All right, higher high, and then we created a higher low. So that's what I usually do first thing first. I like to look at what type of market structure we're creating on the chart on the 5-minute, right? So I know that, you know, this is the lower low, lower high, right? This is the lower high, lower low. So we broke that right here, right around here. Okay, that's why I consider the body close up here. So once I see that change of character and that break of structure, what I like to do is I like to do this. I like to look for gaps. All right, and as you can see, there's a gap here. I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but there's a gap here. All right. Some people call it fair value gaps, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want it, but this is actually a fair value gap here. I'm going to take my zone tool here, all right, and put it right here between the third candle. So really, a fair value gap is just basically a 3-candle pattern, all right? So this wick cannot touch this wick, the third candle wick. The first wick can't touch the third candle wick, all right? So there's a space between this wick and this the third candle, all right? So that's considered a gap in the market. If the wicks are touching, then it's not valid, all right? So I look for gaps in the market, and I draw. And a new way I learned this. I learned this from what is it called, FX fellow. Yeah. So what I usually do is I usually just draw the fair value gap right here, like this with the zone. And then if price touch anywhere in the zone, I get in the trade. But to get in a better risk to reward trade or better high probability trade, what I usually do is I bring this all the way down to the swing low here, and this is the swing low here. Okay, so from this wick here to the bottom, this is the swing low. You could even make this the swing low, but I want a tight stop. I don't want my stop loss to be too big, but let me see how many pips that is, how many ticks that is, because when you're trading futures, you're trading ticks, all right? So if this was like if this was Nas, let me get my phone here. If this was Nas, if this was NQ Nas 100, right? 29 ticks is $5 per tick, right? So 29 times 5, right? That's $145 if you're doing one contract. So if price came all the way down here, right, you would lose $145. All right. Now, if you depending on what size account that you have. So in my case, I will be using a 150K. So what I would do is I would do a 10 contract. So you could do 145 times 10. So if price came all the way down here and tapped my stop loss, because this will be my stop loss, then I would lose $14.50. I would lose $14.50. I would lose over $1,000 on this trade. Okay, but I do that. Okay, I draw from the wick right down to the swing low, and then I take the trade whenever. Let me go down here. I take the trade whenever price come down. So what I like to do is, and I learned this from somebody, I put the entry a little bit above the zone, because sometimes price like to come barely, and sometimes it like before even try to touch your zone, it just goes up. But so I try to get in. I don't want to miss out on the trade, so I put it a little bit above the zone or below the zone. Okay, and then my stop loss will be down here at the swing low here. All right, and then I'm going for 1 to 3. All right, I'm going for 1 to 3, and then as you can see right here, go up. Yeah. I go for 1 to 3 risk to reward. Boom. That was a win right there. So I'm telling you guys, like, you see that, right? Price came and touched this zone. Remember, this red zone, I drew this red zone right on let me see where we at. Okay, I drew this red zone on the hour chart. All right, remember we did the previous U.S. session highs and lows, right? Right, this zone was my previous U.S. session low. This red zone at the top is my previous U.S. session high. Okay, so when price comes down into the zone, then I'm going to my 5-minute chart to see if I can get in a good position. All right, because when price usually reach these zones, price like to either reject them or break them and retest. But in this case, price came all the way down, fake people out. Sometimes price people faking people out, fake people out, broke the zone, fake people out, thinking people that are gonna, people are thinking, most people are thinking, oh, it's gonna start, well, we can start selling now. We can wait for the retest. No, in this case, price came up and closed right above the zone here. So right after the news, like around, I would say 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock, you could have drew this, around like 9:05, you'll see this fair value gap. What you would have did was you would have got your zone, from the bottom of the wick all the way down to the swing low, drew that zone there as your gap, and then wait for price to come down and touch this zone and get in for a 1-3 trade. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that right. All right. So let's look for another trade. I'm gonna give you some more value, guys. I'm gonna show you guys. So remember the candles, right, that I'm looking at is the red candle. The best time to trade ES, NQ, any equities is during New York session, okay, or US session. So let's look at this. Let's look at the before. All right. So I can see where we was going into a downtrend, right? Well, first we was lower low, and then this created a higher high, and then higher low, higher high, and then this created this over here created a lower low. All right, I hope you guys can see that. This created a lower low, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we started going in a little bit of uptrend, up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Break a structure there, change the character there, and then we started coming back down. So created a lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then we started creating higher high. So this right here would be the higher high here, okay? Well, let's see. This would be a higher high. Yeah, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then we came back down and changed structure again and created a lower low. All right, created a lower low here. Lower high, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So we're basically going into a downtrend here, all right? So price wasn't in my US session high, but price is in the previous weekly high though. This yellow zone is the previous weekly high, okay? So this is another zone that I look at, all right, when it comes to taking trades, okay? So once I seen price change character and started creating lower lows and lower highs, right, I'm looking for gaps, all right? When it comes to order blocks, supply and demand, I want to add gaps. I want to trade the gaps. That's how I'm looking at the market. I'm looking for gaps because I usually trade the gaps. Those are my entries. Okay, so I'm looking for a gap. Okay, so once we created a lower low here, I'm looking for a gap here. So we created a lower low here, and what I would look for is a gap in the market. This is not a gap because remember, wicks are touching. It has to be a gap between. So I just wait. If I don't see a gap, then I just wait. Wait. Maybe we can get in a trade. Yep. We're in a downtrend, so I don't want to be looking for uptrend. Like if you're looking at the market structure, we're in a downtrend right now. Okay, we're definitely in a downtrend here. So I'm not looking for any buys right now at the moment, especially we're below the zone and below the New York session high. Okay, I'm not looking for any buys right now. Okay, so I see a gap here, but remember, well, he could have actually So with this case, this is tricky right here. All right, so there's a gap right here, right? There's a gap right here. Okay. So what you could have did was you could have brought your zone here. Now this is very little tricky here. You probably would have lost this one, but there is a gap here. You would have lost that. All right, because we're creating like downtrends and stuff like that. But you're as you can see. Let me see. This zone right here, how many pips this is? How many ticks this is? You probably would have lost this one, okay? This is about, well, how many ticks? This is only 13 ticks, all right? Let's do the math here. Remember, when it comes to the NQ, mainly trading, I know this is ES, but I know NQ by heart. I know that it's $5 per tick. So let's pretend that this was NQ. And this is 13 ticks. So 5 times 13 is 65, right? So if you were only doing one contract, you would only lost like $65. All right. Times that by 10, you only lose $650. That's it. Okay. So that's really nothing. Okay. Let's go to another. Now you could trade NQ and ES and London session and Asian session, but like I said, the best time to trade ES NQ is during US session. All right, let's look at another pair here. All right, so boom, this was around 8 a.m. here. Okay, so created a lower low. I mean higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. All right. And then we created a lower low here, and then we created a higher high, which this is a change of character here. And then once we see that change of character or that break of structure, what I'm looking for are buys basically. So do we see? And then also, I'm looking for gaps in the market once that change of character happens or that break of structure happens. So I don't see any gaps here. You see a little gap here, but that didn't come down and touch it. So here's another gap right here. So remember what I told you before. I like to take trades a little bit before I have my entry a little bit above the zone. So technically, I probably would have gotten this trade. The price came close to this entry here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's a gap in the market right here. Right here, this is a gap. This candle, this wick is not touching this third candle wick right here. So I'm gonna draw this all the way down to the swing low here. All right. So in this case, remember what I like to do is I like to take the trade a little bit above the zone. So I probably would have gotten this trade here. I'm showing you guys how easy to catch 1 to 3 risk to reward on most of your trades. I mean, you're not gonna win all of them, but majority of the trades you're gonna win. You're gonna catch 1 to 3. All right, so let's see if we catch 1 to 3 here. Boom! Look at that, 1 to 3, guys. So this was what, 81 ticks. So let's do the math here. All right. 5 times 81 ticks, that's $405. So if you'd have did one contract, you'd have made $405. Now times that by 10, if I'm doing 10 contracts, that's $4,000. So literally you could have made half, because I know with Top Step you have to make $9,000. That's your target. $9,000 is your target. You would have made almost half of your profit target with this just one trade right here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look for another one. So that was a win right there, because remember, I would take trades. I like to have my entry a little bit above, my gap. All right, so now let's look for another trade. I'm showing you guys proof that the way I trade, and you can do this on any pair. You can do this on any currency pairs. You can do this on indices. You can do this on gold. You can do this strategy on any pair. Okay, it works for any pair. So let's look. All right, so we're back in the U.S. session here. Remember, the red candles are the U.S. session. I mean, now since we're on the 5 minute, sometimes like I don't know, for some reason it's like a glitch or something like that. The 8 a.m. starts like on the green candles, but I don't know. I need to fix that. I'll change the time. All right, so before the New York session started, we was creating lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low, higher high. Change the character here. Higher low, higher high. All right, so higher low, higher high. So once we got that strength, change the character and that break of structure, right? Higher high, right? Yeah, that's a higher high here. All right, I'm looking for. Oh, let me see. Let me double check here. So higher high. So that was a break of structure. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Remember, New York session starts at 8 a.m. All right. You can trade like an hour before the U.S. session opens, but mainly I like to trade during the U.S. session when the U.S. session opens. So in this case, there's a gap right here, and not only that, it was like 7:30, like 30 minutes before the U.S. session started. So here was a gap right here. Now, what I would have did was I would have did this all the way down to the swing low here, and then I'd have went for 1-3. Remember, I would like, even though we'd probably have been in a little bit of drawdown, but I like to get in a little bit before. I like to have my entry a little bit above the zone here. So I'm gonna put my stop loss down here at the swing low, and then I'm going for 1-3. And then boom, we just smashed 1-3 right there. As you can see, like if you just watch this video over and over, you'll see how I'm trading the gaps here and how I'm trading. So 1-3 right there. Would want that trade. So even though, as you can see, majority of the times you see me trade currency pairs. Like this also works on indices, equities, Nas 100. Like as you can see. All right. So now let's go to. I mean, like let's see if we can. Could it get the trade? Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to show you guys. I mean, you could look for trades like this during Asian session and London session, but I mean, remember we're trading U.S. stocks and stuff like that. You want to trade this during the you'll get the best movements there in the U.S. session. So that was another win that I just showed you guys. Let's look for another trade here. All right, so before the U.S. session, we was creating higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. All right, higher high. Okay, and then we created a lower low. Right, break a structure here, created a higher. I guess you can call it. I don't know, that's a wick there. It might be news. But we created a lower low, a lower high. So now, and then we created a lower low here. Okay, so now we're gonna look for some trades here. Do we see any gap? Now there is a gap right here, right? You brought that, bring it to the swing high. Now sometimes price doesn't come back to that gap. That means what do you do then? You don't take the trade. All right, you look for another opportunity. So we got another gap right here. It didn't come up here because usually we draw the zone from at the top here and bring it to the swing high. Price has to come. I mean, it barely came up. I mean, it's like usually my entries is like right here somewhere. I mean, if you had your entry there, you could have got in, but yeah, it didn't happen. So and then you just look for another gap. Here's another gap. Now this is tricky. You're going into a zone here. You're going into a zone. Usually price likes to reject these previous highs and lows, previous weekly highs and lows, and previous US session highs and lows. So once price came into the zone, I'm not looking for any sales at the moment because I know price likes to reject these zones. Okay, so there's a gap right here. Like there's a gap right here, but I wouldn't think about trading around this area because I know price like to reject this. All right. Now, since I know the price like to reject these previous weekly highs and US session highs and lows, then um, once I see, let me see, once I start seeing change the structure here, like so, like we're creating lower lows, we're creating lower high, lower low, right? Lower high, lower low. So once this candle right here broke, like if I get my this is a lower low, lower high. So this is a lower high, right? Once I see this right here, once this candle broke this line right here, that means I know that this is a change of character, and we're going in an uptrend. So we created a higher high, right? We created a higher high. So now I'm looking for buys now. I'm looking for buys. So I'll be looking for fair value gaps around this area. So here's a this is a gap. I think this is a gap, right? Yeah, it's a small gap. It's a small gap. So as long as it don't touch, then it's a gap. Okay. So what I will do, again, I'll get my tool here, and then I'll bring it down to the swing low. So this zone is my gap, and then I'm going to get in for a buy for 1 to 3. So usually I have my entry usually a little bit above the zone. All right, and then I'm going for 1 to 3. I'm gonna put my when it comes to your stop, you could put it a little bit above, because sometimes price like to swipe liquidity. So if you want, sometimes you can put a little bit of like below the zone, but most cases, if you're looking at market structure and you have your zone set in place, you're good. So I'll put my stop loss right here, and I'm going for 1 to 3. Boom. There's another win, guys. That's another win. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Another win. So let's do the math. This was for oh, this was for 123. So 123 ticks times $5, you would have made $615 if you was doing one contract. Times that by 10, you'd have made $6,000. So on a 150K account, I probably most likely will do 10 contracts. So I probably would have won $6,000. All right. So that's another win right there. Guys, you can do this over and over and over again, guys. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm telling you, you can do this over and over. So let's go to another New York's US session. And like I said, guys, before I started this video showing you guys the charts, just a reminder, if you guys want to be able to copy my trades, I'm now only charging $100. I normally charge $500 to copy my exact trades, but I'm charging $100 to copy my trades automatically to your account. And not only that, I'm allowing you to make money for every person that you refer that want to copy my trades as well. So I mean, you'll make $100 every person that you refer to me that wants to copy my trades. You'll make $100 for every person, and you're gonna be making money copying my trades. Can't get no better than that. All right. Now, sorry guys. Let's go ahead and look for another trade. All right. So before we was creating higher highs, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. So once I saw price broke this higher high here, then I'm looking for gaps in the market so I can trade. So you could have drew a gap right here, but it's real tricky right here, because depending on where your entry is at, let me get the zone. There's a gap right here. Now, I probably would have took this trade because price came down and rejected this zone here. As you can see, price rejected the zone, right? And you draw the zone here, would have brought it to the, I probably would have brought it up here to the swing high. All right, how many ticks that is? This is, now this is a lot though. Now this is a big, when the zone is big, when the gap is big, I usually like to break it down to the 3 minute and make it a little bit smaller. So it would probably be, if I was looking at the 3 minute, that probably would have made it a little bit, the gap a little bit smaller, or it would have been up here probably. But if you were to take this and have your stop at right here, this would have been, how many ticks this was? Let me see. Okay, it was 38 ticks. So you could have took this trade, or you couldn't, because price didn't come up here. Usually, remember, I like the trade. Yeah, I probably would have took this trade because it's not too far, because my entry would have been right there, right below that zone. Remember, I like to take my entries a little bit below the zone or above the zone, so that I don't miss. The reason why I do that, because I don't want to miss the trade. I don't want to miss the trading opportunity, because sometimes price, like, they come very, very close to your zone and then it just drop. So in order for me to avoid that miss or that lose or that miss out on that trade, I like to put my entry a little bit below the zone. So most likely I would probably have took this trade, because I would have my entry a little bit down here. Okay, so put that, you stop right there at the swing high, and then you would have went for 1 to 3. You see how easy and simple this is? Like, you can literally catch pips all day long, catch 1 to 3 all day. Well, not all day long, but you can catch, like, there's like, if you're trading the amount of pairs that I'm trading, you're gonna find 1 to 3 trades a day that you can get in that goes 1 to 3 easily, right? Easily. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep going. I'm really liking this. I'm really enjoying this. All right. So now we're back in the US session. So we were creating higher high, higher low, higher high. So higher low right here. Okay. We created a low. We created, yeah. So we broke that level here. So we created a lower low. All right. So lower high, lower low. All right. And remember, price came all the way up here into the zone, and I'm going to be looking for gaps in the market. All right. So now, this right here, in this case, let me see if we can catch 1 to 3. You probably would have lost this trade right here. Let's see. But I'll put mine to the swing high, that long wick up there. Okay. And then let's see. I probably got in the trade here. Put my entry there. Put my stop at that swing high. See if we can catch 1 to 3. I don't think we did 1 to 3, but yeah, we didn't catch it. We did like 1. Yeah, we did like almost 1 to 2, but you could have won this trade if you're going for like 1 to 2. You know what I'm saying? 1 to 2, you probably could have won that trade or whatever. But you can also manage your trades. Sometimes I manage my trades. If I see price that's close to 1 to 3, and I'm seeing some bullish movement, and I'm in a sell, then I probably might close the trade out a little bit early just to save my butt, or move my stop. Like, you know, if price came all the way down here, right, 1 to 2, you can move your stop to break even if you want to do that. But you would have got stopped out though, or you could have closed what you got in profit there. So it's, you could have won, you could have made money, you could have lost money, you could have made no money. So that's tricky right there, depending on your trading style. Let's look at another New York session here. So here was creating lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So once price broke that, this lower high here, right? Change the character. Then I'm looking for a gap. So here's a gap right here that started the gap. Bring it down to the swing low. I would have got in the trade here. I would have got in the trade like right there. The entry. I'm gonna put my stop right here. All right. Now, this is another tricky one because you would have got a 2R. You would have got a 2R. All right, so you could have closed your trade a little bit early once you start seeing bearish movement, but you would have got basically stopped out. Basically, you would have got stopped out because price didn't go any higher than this level here, and then price came all the way down here, broke that level. Okay. Now, once you've seen that price break, that change of character, then you could look for another trade opportunity here. So you could have, because as you can see, we're creating a higher high. It's a little choppy here. You don't want to trade the choppy market like that, but this came up, created a higher high, and then broke this structure here, broke this higher low, and created a change of character, right? So right here, you can start looking for trading opportunities. So there's a gap right here. You could have did this. So you probably would have lost the first trade, and then you would have your gap to the swing high. So you probably would have lost this trade right here, but once you've seen price broke this higher low here, which created a change of structure there, you could have looked for gaps right here. You could have found this gap right here, and then got in a short position, and then you could have went for 1 and 3. And you would have definitely got one. You would have got that. So you would have lost this trade. I mean, like I said, it's tricky because, I don't know what type of trader you are. You probably would have closed profits, or you would have probably broke even, or whatever, or you would have lost. So, it all depends. Sometimes I close out trades a little bit early if I feel like, it's going against me. It's going to go against me, but it depends. Like, that's iffy. But if you did lose this trade, this first trade, you would have definitely won this trade right here. You would have got 1 and 3 here. Okay. Well, I didn't put my stop there. But he did go for 1. Well, let me put my stop right there. So I'm gonna put my stop. My TP would have been right there. So 105, 105 ticks. So let's do this. 105 times 5, that's 525. If you did one contract, that's 500. You'd have made $525. Times that by 10. If you're doing 10 contract, I would have made $5,000. But when it comes to stop step, you don't want to make no more than 50% of your account. So I probably would have closed out like around 4,000. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna end this video, guys. But I just want to show you guys exactly how the strategy that I'm using to trade. Okay, normally I would have my zones marked up, but we're going back and back. But I don't have time to draw these zones. I don't want to make this video even more longer when it comes to drawing these zones. But usually when price comes to my previous US session highs and lows, or previous weekly high and low, then I break on that comes up in the 1 hour, then I break it down to the 5 minute, and then I look for gaps. I look for supply and demand and gaps in the market on the 5 minute. Okay. All right. So this is U.S. session. We created lower low, lower low, lower high. All right. Lower low. So what you could have did here, let's see, is there a gap? So we're creating lower lows here. Where is the gap? So where is the gap? Is there a gap here? No, there's no gap right here. I thought it was a gap. Okay, yeah, there was a gap there. Okay, so there's a gap right here. These 3 candles. Remember, this wick is not touching this third candle wick, so it's a gap. So I was doing it from the top of the wick, and then bring it up to the swing high. All right. And then what I would do is I would short it. So once price came back up, I probably would have got in a trade. Let me see. I probably would have got it. Probably got in a trade like right here. Like I probably would have got in like right there, my entry. I would have got in a little drawdown, but that's okay. I don't want to like. I'd rather get in a little drawdown than miss the move if it didn't come all the way up. And then I go for 1 to 3. Simple as that, guys. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. And you would have caught how many pips there? You would have caught, yeah, you would have caught 93 pips. 93 pips. So do the math. 93 times 5. According to NQ, if you're trading NQ, times that by 10, you'd have made 465 on that trade if you did one contract. What times that by 10, you would have made 4,600 on this trade if you'd have went for 1 to 3. Guys, you see how easy that is? Like, you can make money, like make really, really good money just using this strategy alone. Now, I got multiple strategies. I got multiple confluences and extra stuff, but if you just do this alone, you can like win a lot more than you lose. I'm telling you right now, you'll win a lot more than as long as you're winning a lot more than you're losing, you will make money. All right, and you can use this strategy to pass top step challenges, apex challenges. You can use this on forex challenges, and you can literally pass these challenges using this strategy. Okay. But if you don't want to do all this stuff, you don't want to look at the charts, you don't want to mark up it, you don't want to like look at the charts all day, fine, I get it. You can literally copy my trades automatically over to your account. I'm only charging a one-time fee of $100, and you'll be able to copy my trades. Every time I take a trade on my account, those same trades will be copied over to your account automatically. And then every person that you refer to me, right, which I will be creating a Facebook group that can help you make money. All you got to do is just add your prospects into the Facebook group, and then they'll see the results that that people are getting copying my trades, and then they'll make them interested. So it'll allow you to get your prospects to join, and when they join and then you refer them to me, guess what? You're gonna get paid $100. So you're gonna make money copying my trades, and you're gonna make money by referring people to me. All right. So you can't get no better than that. So the $100 that you're investing, right? The one-time $100 fee that you're investing, you're gonna make it back by referring just one person. You made your investment back, just like that. Now you're gonna be in straight profit. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me personally. But with that being said, I hope you got a lot of value. But there's more to this strategy. I'm just showing you some of it. It's not all of it, but like literally, as you can see, just with what I'm showing you, it can make you money. You can win you a lot of trades. But with that being said, I'm Andre Cat, now here from West Palm Beach, Florida. I will see you guys on the internet. Take care, y'all.